Let's roll. This is Countercharge, your podcast for ranks, flanks, and kings of war. Join your hosts as they delve into the world of Panithor and bring you worldwide coverage of all things Kings of War.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Countercharge. This is Andy Patton.
And I'm Jeff Bodeen.
All right, guys. Yeah, so we have finished the 2026 U.S. Masters. We have a new master in Sean Troy. Before we get into anything, I do want to say this is probably my favorite Masters that I've been to so far. They've just provided everything. The tournament ran pretty smooth. There's no scoring problems. The lunch was good. They were pretty good about shuttling people back and forth from where we needed to go. Yeah, the scores were a little wonky, like while the rounds were going on, but as the rounds finished, it was.
I don't really.
Good.
That's fine. It's just the system updating, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Everybody was need to be a little more patient and wait for everything to get in.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So, but yeah, how did your weekend go overall, Jeff?
Well, I think context is important. I didn't want to end up making I didn't try to make a meta army for this event, so I just kind of used what I had available, which is ogres. So they're, mid, I guess, maybe a little low depending on your personal reflections on it. But I decided not to do a meta army, so I just took my ogres and I kind of penciled myself in at 3-3. And I ended up going 4-2, which is at Masters always a great achievement. Period.
Oh yeah, the room is so tough. It's literally the best players in.
Yeah, and so if you're in there and you have not only you have a winning record, that is a big accomplishment. So anybody that goes 4-2 or in that neighborhood has a lot to be proud of, and that's true for me. I'm very proud of my performance. I think I played 6 excellent games. There's nothing. I mean, I'll have to think about my last loss and really reflect on it and try and find the things that I messed up. If they're there, and there might be something, but nothing is jumping out at me immediately where I saw it and realized I made an error and then I got capitalized on. It wasn't really like that. So that's one thing is every time I go into a game and an event, I want to play well. And you never ever beat yourself. If you're going to lose, that's fine. Make them beat you.
Right. Yeah.
And so I didn't beat myself not one time in this event.
Okay.
I had 2 losses, and they were through circumstance, and it was not because I screwed it up. So I'm proud of myself on that. I played 6 excellent, well-played games from my own perspective.
Nice.
So I'm happy about that. So I outperformed my expectations for the event, so I'm happy, and I know that Andy is very happy with his results.
I felt pretty good with the weekend. I had several extremely close games. Round 1, I played against Jose Vega. First time I'm meeting Jose.
Likewise.
Yeah, the guy was. He's one of my favorite people.
I know. I put him as my favorite game.
I did too.
I really like that guy. It was shocking to me just how well I gelled with him. Because we probably don't have very much in common, but I really like that dude. And so I'll be looking to every time. I mean, I've seen him at events a bunch of times, and I've never played him. So I will be, kind of every time I see him going forward, dropping in and seeing how he's doing.
100%. I will tell you, I was extremely confident going into the game against him. I didn't think his list had a shot at beating what I was bringing to the table. And if you all watched the matchup cast, everyone else said the same thing. There's no chance that he ends up winning in our match. And I had to pull victory just out of my butt in that game. It was a 4-2 win and push, which is my worst mission by a large margin.
I played him for control, which is like the 6 zones or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one went well for me, and it was really interesting. His list was very good, and the rudimentary face-beating virtue of an all-melee ogre list did express itself in that matchup. So I thought that I would be able to just kind of out-aggress him, and that was true, but it was actually a pretty wild game. So I share your sentiment with the look being deceiving, and obviously because he's so skilled with his faction like that. I think that's one of his mains, if it's not his main.
Yeah, it is his most played faction.
Okay, so it showed because he was really well versed in how to get the most out of them, and it was good to see it kind of develop. And because I've played a lot of undead locally back in Memphis, as you too.
Yeah.
And so and it was interesting to see another presentation of them, and it was gnarly, but it was fun, and he was a good dude.
Yeah, he was a very good, very strong player.
That was probably the highlight. The two highlights. Also, Joe Borghese is an excellent fellow. If you haven't met,
that is one of the nicest guys.
I know, right?
In the game, and yeah, dude, that dude is awesome.
And Nick Murray out of California. I had a great game with that guy. It didn't go my way because of crazy stuff, but I have no ill will towards him because I played a great game, and just a ridiculous number of snakes cost it for me, and I don't want to sit here and whine about it, but either way, the point is that the dude was awesome, and that was great, was to be in with peers, and for the most part, everybody was really high character.
Yeah,
which is nice.
I agree. I agree.
And so that's, I think, what everybody wants and tries to do is be high character in these things, and I had the pleasure, and I know Andy did too, but I had the pleasure of being amongst high character peers.
Yep. Yeah, so round 2, I got my rematch with Robert Stopline. Out of Wisconsin.
Yes, another rising star with the John Deere halflings, if you haven't seen him. Yeah.
He played Kingdoms of Men this weekend.
Yeah, that's true. A bunch of cannons.
4 cannons, 4 regiments of riflemen. They were...
I think he likes shooting.
Those are nasty.
I think he likes shooting.
Those are, oh my God, they were nasty.
Yeah.
So, I think he was having a rough weekend, but in the end, he did play a good game. He had one actual mistake on the table, and that mistake cost him the game, in my opinion. And he gave me a rear charge on one of his Barons on Winged Beast.
Whoopsie.
Yeah. So it was something. I've done it.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if it's lack of reps, because I know that he was a halfling guy, and every time I've seen him for the past year or two, it has been halflings exclusively.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it was reps that caused some of the oversights or what.
It might be.
I'm
not sure. He just measured to be outside of one of my units, the cavalry.
And it was wrong or something?
No. And then after he measured and put himself out of charge range of that unit, it put him in charge range of another unit on the other side of him.
Whoopsie.
And then he moved out of that charge range, but that moved him back into charge range of the first unit.
And he just forgot.
And he didn't realize it.
Whoopsie.
And I talked to him about it afterwards. When I said, yeah, you moved out of the charge range, and now you moved right back into this one, after he passed the turn to me, and he was like, oh, damn, yeah, I did. You're right. Damn. And he was kicking himself for it. But those are the kinds of mistakes that'll cost you here in the Masters. So
yeah, you got to play a tight game. You can't. You can give up a flank or whatever knowingly.
Yeah,
and that's part of the strategy. Sometimes you leave it open because that's what you need to have happen.
Yeah,
but you can't ever play a game where you have something you didn't anticipate happen.
Yeah,
and that's bad.
And to be honest, the real takeaway there is talk to your opponent. So, if he would have said, hey, I'm trying to be out of the charge range.
Yeah, and we all want to keep our secrets, right? We want to have our little game plan and not give anything too much away because, then they can capitalize on it, right? So, but sometimes it is helpful to just talk through what you're trying to do, especially, like it's going to involve their feedback anyway. So how much is gained from secrecy? Sometimes not so much.
No, you actually you lose stuff. So
you can, so it is, I started doing that, and it's like, you know what, look, I'm just going to explain what I'm trying to do here so that we can all be on the same page, and there's no like, well, that feels bad. Yeah.
So then your opponent knows, hey, you measured this to be out.
Yeah.
And 99 times out of 100, especially up here at the top tables, or, with the best players in the nation. Yeah.
That is sufficient.
They'll say, hey, if it's close and that's your intent, like, we're going to go by it. Yes. And that's
it. That's the thing.
If it's physically impossible, then we'll have a problem.
Right. And when we measure it all out, that will be determinable.
Yeah.
Right there. So, and it just avoids arguments, because one thing, everybody is here to win. So there's 100%. Nothing wrong with playing hard.
Oh, yeah.
And,
really.
And you have these discussions in order to keep everything in the light.
Yeah.
And, there's nothing wrong with trying to win. And if you're not trying to win, why are you here?
Yeah.
But, you got to do it in the light. So, talking it out and having an agreement and understanding and not trying to do any shady stuff is just for the betterment of the game in general.
Yeah, so that was basically the only mistake that Rob made in our game, and like I said, I think it did cost him. Other than that, I enjoy the games with Sabine. I honestly say if I had to pick anyone as like a King's rival, it'd probably be Robert Sabine. We've been going back and forth. We're now 3-2 in my favor of tournament games here. He brought me a case of Spotted Cow.
It's a beer.
Yeah, from it's a beer you can only get in Wisconsin.
Yes.
And I offered to pay for it, and he was like, "Dude, don't even."
It has mad cow disease and meth in it.
Oh yeah,
that's why Andy likes it.
Yeah, it is insanely good. So, but yeah, he's a great guy. Round 3, I played Jeff Shilkin, and he and I did a lot of preparation together for this tournament. Since Adepticon, pretty much, we both played Salamanders at Adepticon, and he was running a no Commandant list, and I was running Commandant. It was his first foray into like how that army plays with the Commandants compared to not, and he and I were like testing lists and stuff online for a while until like they kind of got hammered out, and we weren't getting enough testing done fast enough. So his bread and butter army is Northern Alliance or Varangur, and he decided to go ahead with that. And we were playing around with a few lists for that. Is Jeff Shogun and Sam Kula and I. So we're just kind of like putting our heads to the board or to the wall and really like mathed out what we thought would be the best list. And so I knew exactly what he was bringing to the table, and he knew exactly what my army was doing on the table. And he was beating me pretty handily until he wasn't. I pulled a draw right out of my butt.
Well, it's a good place to pull one.
Yeah. So, and he's a good dude. Oh no, that was round 4. Round 3. Wow, I'm totally skipping Tyler Schultz. I played Tyler Schultz round 3. The Tyler Schultz. Another fantastic person.
I haven't had the pleasure.
So
I've met him in passing, but never actually.
Yeah, so he played round 2. He played Eric Trowbridge on stream and beat him.
Oh.
And so I was like, oh, like, I never played Tyler.
Guy's legit, I guess. Well.
Yeah. I was like, and I think that Eric is probably the best technical player. I think if he would hammer down and play a list that wasn't one made by himself, then he would probably end up doing better. So, Sam, if you hear this, beat up Eric for me and make him start playing good lists. I can't talk too much because he beat me on Friday with the list that he was playing over the weekend.
Yeah. I watched the early moves of that game, and Eric moved with so much confidence. Like, his body language was clear that he knew exactly what he was doing, and he was going to crush Andy like an empty beer can. And apparently that is what transpired.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that game was. I tell you what, if dice have ever been hotter than that game, I don't know when it was.
For you?
Yeah, just in general. The turn
both of you were just bashing each other?
No, so I had top of turn. He's playing Fast Dwarves, right?
Okay.
It's all Brock Riders and Frostclaws and Berserker Lords on mount.
Okay.
So
yeah.
And Shield Breakers. So his entire army's defense 4. And top of 1, 4 Commandants picks up a Brock Rider regiment. And then my Blizzard Wizard hit the regiment of Flyers.
Okay.
And did 11 wounds off of 1 casting of Blizzard.
Wow.
And he was
All
like,
right.
"Is this how the game's gonna go?" And I was like, "Dude, I don't know." And he's like, "I heard about how these commandants work."
Yeah.
And
the Commandants were what made me ultimately discard Ogres as a viable long-term solution because there's just no game there. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I could take. There's nothing I could change. It wouldn't change anything. They'd instantly lose.
Yep, they're very good.
They're absurd. And
they're terrible. They don't ever nerf.
Oh yeah, you hear that, awful. Ronnie? They're awful. They definitely don't need to be checked.
Read my map.
No.
See, there were no salamanders that won any tournaments. Yeah, but that Lone Wolf, they won, but they had no commandants.
Yeah, apparently salamanders won at Lone Wolf. I don't know if anybody heard the comments from Rob in the background.
Yeah, Rob said that salamanders won Lone Wolf, but they had no commandants. Rob. Yeah, because
he's throwing shade at Andy, which is fair and easy to do.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
But no, Tyler was a fantastic opponent. Even with me dicing him off the table, I enjoyed the game. We were joking around, laughing, having a good time, and then when we left the venue, we went and had dinner, and then played a
game.
Yeah, we were playing board games together all night and drinking. I drank way too much last night.
That's funny.
I went into the room at like 2 a.m. and
you gotta stay dialed in, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like that is.
I know I was on top of it. So that CPAP machine has been helping me tremendously. So, but yeah, no, I felt very ready coming in today. So,
well, that's good.
Yeah. So, but no, that was just a roll dice simulation game. We were playing Fool's Gold, and on the third turn when we flipped all the tokens, he was on all the zeros and I was on all 8 points.
Sweet.
Yeah, and
got him.
That's just like how it worked out, I guess. And we finished the game with me 8-0. And
jeez. Right.
Yeah, it was. I almost blackjacked. I missed it by like 30 or 40 points of attrition. That was it, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Game 4, I played Jeff Shilkin. Like I said, I pulled that draw out of my butt. Very close game. I think Jeff has finished in the top 5 at every Masters that I've attended. So, whether it's best for the rest or not. So, I mean, he's one of the best players in the nation. If you just look at his results, even.
Yeah.
So,
no doubt.
And like I said, we did a lot of prep together going into this, so we knew.
Yeah, he had a very refined list. And I actually also played him this event. I played him round 6. He ended up winning. It was a very close game, and we both beat the mess out of each other.
Yeah, he is definitely the aggressor in basically whatever game he's in.
I was the aggressor this time.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Yes, I'm playing ogres.
Yeah.
If I hang around, he's just going to shoot me to death. So
you're right.
I just ran at him because I made sure that my flanks were secure. And I just pressed right at the middle. It's like, all right, here we go. We're going to do this.
Yeah, he told me you played a good game. That you were putting stealthy on the things that needed to be stealthy at the right time. And
yeah, I mean, I pushed the shooting around away from the mid so that I could dominate the mid.
Yeah,
that was the plan, was to just push it away and put it on the edges.
Yeah,
where it's less important, and hammer right through the mid, which I did.
Mm-hmm.
I killed the mid and turned around.
Yeah, he said your decision making and whatnot was probably spot on for the game.
Yeah, I did not get that. We did not discuss the game, but I'm thankful for the feedback on that. Yeah, I mean, not to sound arrogant or anything, but I think I played a great game. Like, I don't know too much. Like, I'll obviously, like I said before, I will sit down and really think about that game and figure out if there's some mistakes that I made, or maybe my deployment was poor, or what. Or not poor, because, I mean, I was very much in it. But could it have been better with whatever? But in all, there's nothing jumping out at me saying, well, that was a huge mistake and I just got punished for it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I played a darn good game.
Mm-hmm.
And, he had more tactical flexibility than I did. And he got a lot of, I had opportunities. Well, there were situations where I had to give him flanks, and his archer units are just as good in melee. And so, I would give him a hindered flank, but he would still do 8 damage.
Yeah.
And it's like against a defense 5 unit with no crush, and he would still do it. And it's like sometimes you get got.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is.
Yep.
Like normally that probably doesn't happen, and I shrug it off and just counter and kill him.
Mm-hmm.
But it did not work out this way on this game, and that's all right.
Yep.
But
so
so it was. There's no doubt that he's also a person that moved with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, he definitely knows what
he
he's
knew
doing.
exactly what he was doing with his army and what he wanted to do. And, there are elements of my list that are similar to a matchup strategy that he would face in other things. Like his plan probably against me would be similar to what he would do against Forces of Nature with a defense 6 element.
Yeah.
So it would be basically the same principle. And, so I did what I could do, and I think I played a good game. I won 2/3 of the board, but the third I lost, killed too much.
Yeah.
And swung through and pushed into the mid, and I ran out of time.
Yeah.
So that's all right.
Yeah. So round 4 I ended up drawing. So I'm 3 wins and a draw going into round 5. I'm near the top, and I end up playing against Travis Tim.
Hey yo.
Again, one of the best players in the nation.
Oh yeah.
So
everybody loves that guy.
Yeah, he's playing goblins. There's nothing to hate about the guy.
No, I mean he's a very charming dude.
Yeah.
If you haven't met him, he's just a good guy, and he's fun and funny, but also like very serious.
Mm-hmm.
About the game.
Yeah,
but yeah, so there's a lot to like there, obviously.
Yeah. So he and I played probably the biggest nail biter game of the tournament for me, and that's saying something with the draw that I squeezed out of my butt with Shilkin. But we both ended with less than a minute left on our clock.
Wow.
At several points, we had to ask people to walk away from the table because we just couldn't handle the interference.
Focus. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with people. Like they left, but like we were so deep into that game.
Yeah, observers need to just be cognizant that they are trying to concentrate and don't distract them when they're trying to play a game.
Yeah, well, Travis said it in our discussion after the match that he and I did, that every round of the event so far, he's finished the game with 20 minutes left on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
35 minutes left in the round in general.
Yeah.
And that one was not. That was a nail biter from the start to finish. And he ended up pulling it out 3-2. And honestly, I attribute that more to me not playing that mission as much. We were playing Compass Points.
Yeah, I have never played that one to my knowledge.
Yeah, I've played it once, but not with the list that I'm playing now.
Oh.
And it was, I don't know, it wasn't a bad mission.
It's fine.
I enjoyed the mission.
Yeah,
it's just I wasn't prepared for strategy.
Yeah, it plays into the same wheelhouse that I'm already doing anyway. So I'm going to run at you. I'm going to end the game on your half of the board, or I get obliterated.
Yeah.
So I will. Yeah. So to me, it was a field flip or a toilet bowl, like they like to say.
Yeah.
So that one I played George O'Connell in, and it was a very bloody game.
Yeah.
And I had his and he had mine, and we tied on one edge, and I had the other.
I killed 13 rebel regiments in our game, and I think 9 of the 13 were killed by lancers.
That's wild. And checks out.
Yeah. So my Lancers were MVP over the event in general, in my opinion. So they just did incredible. But yeah, I made one mistake in the game. It was like decision-making mistake, not like actual movement error or whatever.
Yeah.
Where I moved up a ceremonial guard unit that was fresh with defense 6 up on a hill to get inside of the 12 inches of indirect from his rock lavas.
Mm-hmm.
And with the hopes that on the next turn was turn 6, I could contest his home objective, which was, of course, 3 points for me. But he was able to get 5 or 6 unit strength up to that point with my unit still being there. So it would have been moot.
Yeah.
And in me moving them up, I let him neutralize one of the points on the left side of the table. And it basically, he won 3-2 overall. Like, that would have been a 3-3 draw.
So your move up did nothing but cost you a point.
Correct. And I could have contested his center because my point, like my home point, I was no longer using Commandants to contest it anymore. I had to move Yelatar back to contest it. And because the Commandants had to move to take the side objective that the Ceremonial Guard were standing near already. So, but because of that, I shot less with the Commandants, and they ended up washing on points because he got two heroes over there to negate the Commandant points.
Yeah, the change to individuals having unit strength is...
Yeah, I like
as an Ogre player, I'm feeling that pain because it's yet again another one of my advantages taken away and given to everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it
sucks because I have move restrictions still, but now they have the unit strength that I have, and I don't get more unit strength, but I still have the move restrictions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, they get everything and I get nothing. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
But I will say I really enjoyed the game I played with Travis. It was, like I said, it was a nail biter the entire game.
My God.
And it was turn 1.
Well, I mean, it should be. I mean, Travis is one of the best players in the game, and if it's not,
I mean,
like,
spoiler,
you should expect to have a hard time at minimum.
Yeah, spoiler, he won Best Paragon.
Weird. What a shocking development.
And this is, what, the second or third Masters he's had 0 losses in?
Wow.
And he's not won.
I'm sure it's very frustrating for him.
Yeah. He's not won,
He's not won the event. He's just gotten Paragon and gotten close.
Yes. So, but yeah, that was great. Round 6, I ended up playing somebody I'd never met until this weekend, as well as Jonathan Neeson. Played Herd, or Forces of Nature, I guess, now. And it was very good. Those Guardian Brutes, man, they hit hard.
Yes, they do.
So, especially if you give them a Strider and Bane Anthem. Yeah, he was just
Crush 4, or well, the result is -40 your armor.
Yeah, so he was basically like, "Oh, you're defense 6 ceremonial."
Yeah,
that's cute, buddy.
George had 2 of them. Yeah, I guess I'll recap mine after you.
But. Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, that's cute, buddy. I'm just gonna pick him up in the first go anyway." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And
the only thing is they have 16 attacks instead of 18.
Yeah. So, and they're vicious though. And they hit extremely hard, and I ended up winning 9-8 against him. Yeah. There was one turn at the end where he had to kill the ceremonial guard in one go, or I won 14-7 overall. That was the score points for blackjack, but the mission score was 9-8, and we were basically tied on attrition. If my ceremonial guard stayed alive there in that last turn, then I got a flank charge on the brute, and I got a double flank charge on the longhorns that were also in the unit. And picking those up, I would have won it would have been 13-4, and then I would have been up 600 points of attrition, maybe 700, and it would have been a larger point swing. So, That may have been the 3 points for our region, actually.
Well, I'm sure I had a lot of wins that were. I mean, what's wild is I still had almost 10,000 points of attrition.
Yeah.
I had 9,700, and I had. Yeah, I can talk about it. It's going to sound like a wine fest, but it's undeniable reality. So I like I said earlier, I went 4-2. Andy, you done talking about your games?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, because I was just going to expound on mine real quick, but not real quick. My first game was against Joe Borghese, and he had his defense 6 swarm of dwarves, and he played them very well. And that game, I kind of anticipated how it would unfold, and I played it that way, and that's exactly what happened. And there was a little bit of drama with the end result due to the dice. I had 3 snakes in that game that were very critical that almost caused me to lose. And we got a turn 7, and I did not snake that center unit again and was able to get the token and win. But it was snakes like blunting my attrition and then causing me to lose units. Because every time I snaked, the unit that was in or at least one of the units that was in combat with the snaked unit then died.
Yeah.
It was every time. And it wasn't like inconsequential snakes either. It was like, these are pivotal to the battle plan in this moment. And they were all costly. And so it was 3 snakes in the first game, but I still managed to win through a little bit of luck, I guess. And then round 2, I played Nick Murray out of California, who was another great dude. And he was playing Undead, and I was hyper aggressive with him. And, I charged in early and into a trap unit, which, he was like, this was a trap. Yeah. And I took it anyway, and I blew up the unit and killed him. And then after that, it was just snake fest after snake fest. And I rolled 5 critical snakes in that game, and that one ended up costing me because I was dominating and killing everything, but then I would do a ton of wounds and then snaking. And then, I would go in next turn and kill the unit, but then another one that was critical, I would snake that one. And then I would lose a unit and then come in and finish the job next turn, and then another one, snake. And after the first 3, I had enough resources to overcome losing all my units that were in the combat, but the 4th and 5th ones made it to where I couldn't survive the game. And so the snakes and the highly temperamental dice, it was weird. It was like I would hit very well, and then my wounding would be extremely under average. So I had to do double or triple the amount of resources you might normally need in order to kill a unit. Mm-hmm. And I would just barely get snakes and then snake. Yeah. So it was just very frustrating. And I ended up losing that one because I just got overwhelmed by the snakes. And then the third game, I played a gentleman named Michael Kopp, I think. He's part of the West, I believe, and he was also playing ogres. It was an interesting ogre mirror match, but he had the more meta ogre version that had the warriors with 2-handers instead of sword and board.
Yep.
And he had fewer siege breakers, and he had a unit of hunters and 2-handers, and I killed him in the mirror match there. So, but it was a good game. It was interesting. There's 2 snakes there that made it dynamic and kept it from kind of being a blowout. Game 4, I played Jose, which was a great game and an excellent way to start day 2. He also had Undead, and I had 3 snakes in that game that made it very interesting and cost me a lot of resources, but I was still able to take it out, and I still managed to win 3-1 on that, and that one was control. But it would have been 5-1 or 7-1, or 7-0, if things had not been so crazy with the snakes. Then game 5, I played George O'Connell, and he had the Force of Nature list, which is, very popular right now. So the brutes or whatever, and then the longhorns. He had 2 air elemental units, which were extremely gnarly. And we beat up each other quite bad, and I had, there was opportunities where I was going to put it away, but for snakes. And it would have been a pretty dominant win, except I had 3 more high-profile snakes there that cost me a lot of points of attrition. And again, every time I did it, lost a unit.
Yeah.
So there was no snakes of no consequence where he attacks back and doesn't kill a unit. Nope. Every single time I lost a unit.
Yeah.
So it was just really hard on my attrition. I would almost go out and say if I hadn't been for all those snakes, I would have had highest attrition because I was just smashing everybody. I was just running down your throat. It was like 100% melee.
Yeah.
And so it was like a very one-dimensional list. I know exactly what to do, just run at you. But so George and I heavily killed each other, and I still managed to hold on and win at the last minute. I got a turn 7 and was able to put it away. And without that, I would have failed.
Nice.
And then round 6 was with Chilkin and...
we already discussed that one.
Yeah, we've already gone over that one. All in all, like I said before, I'm proud of my performance. 4-2 is never anything to be disappointed in at Masters. So, all right.
And with that, we're gonna wrap it up here, guys.
All right, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Countercharge. Please let us know what you thought of the show by emailing us at counterchargepodcast@gmail.com, on Twitter at countercharge15, or by commenting on the Countercharge Kings of War podcast Facebook group. If you enjoy the show, you can help others find out about it by leaving positive reviews on iTunes. Until next time, keep countercharging. Music is a composition of Kevin MacLeod and is licensed under Creative Commons.